Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Ramo and I'm going to be showing you guys today how I'm going to cook this Domoda Yappa, and I'm going to show you guys as well how I cook this nice delicious Findi. Findi is basically made of millet, so it's very common in Gambia and it's a very healthy dish and yet very delicious. So first thing first guys, I am going to be seasoning my meat. So I'm using mutton this time. You can use beef as well. So I added some yeast. Yeast is fermented snail. So I added about 1.5 chopped onions. So I'm adding some tin plum tomatoes. You can use the fresh tomatoes if you have some. So for me, I use the tin ones. Then I added 1 tablespoon of vegetable seasoning. Then I added some chili powder. Then this is what I'm going to be adding, that's malt vinegar. Malt vinegar also helps the meat to cook quicker. Yes, it does help meat quicker, especially sheep. Sheep is not that tough compared to beef, but I still like to add the malt vinegar in. Then I'm going to be adding some black pepper. Then I added some salt. So next I'm going to be adding some ginger paste. Then lastly, that's the netatu. Netatu is locust beans. So I pounded the netatu. So these are the ingredients that I use, that like I said earlier, I'm going to be steaming this meat. I like to do this first. When you steam the meat, it gives it a really nice flavor. So I'm not going to be adding any water. I'm just going to let it steam on its own for about 5 minutes. So after the 5 minutes is up, you can see now it's boiling now. All that water that you see in the pot, it all came out from the meat. Yes, I didn't add any water to it. I just let it steam and it released its own juices. So the meat, by looking at it, it has seasoned really well. So now I'm moving over to make the peanut butter. Yes, and that's crunchy peanut butter. I know some of you guys that know Domoda will be wondering, what is this woman doing with crunchy peanut butter? Yes guys, I went to the store and I couldn't find the smooth peanut butter, but I didn't panic because I've done this before. I bought the crunchy one and I know that it's gonna work, because what I do is, like you see me doing here, I added it into my blend. So if you have a blender, do not panic, just buy this crunchy peanut butter. If the store doesn't have the smooth one, pour it into your blender, add a little bit of water and blend it until smooth. With this blender that I usually use, I've had this blender coming up to 3 years now, and this blender will blend any type of thing you can imagine. So with this peanut butter, it's gonna blend it until it's really smooth. You can't even tell that it was the crunchy one that I got. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm gonna add some water and I'm gonna blend it until it's smooth, which I'm going to add to the meat. So can you guys see? Do you see how smooth it is? Yes, it's very smooth. So the crunchy peanut butter also does the same job as the smooth peanut butter. So I pour it into the meat. Then I am going to be adding about 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. Then I add some water into the blender and just pour it into the meat. So now I am just gonna stir that. I'm gonna stir it all together. Then I'm going to leave it to boil for a while. But do not leave it and forget about it. And one thing I'm gonna say is do not cover the pot. No. If not, what's going to happen is the peanut butter will boil, you know, and it's going to just pour everywhere, because once it's boiling, it tends to bubble. So I am going to be adding some Maggi cube to it. Then I'm going to be adding about half a juice of lemon. You do not have to add lemon. You can add lime as well if you want. You do not have to add both of them. Just the peanut butter on its own tastes very delicious, but with the lime it brings out the flavors even more. So if you haven't tried it with both netato and lime, please try it, guys, and you will come back and you will see the difference. If you want the authentic taste of the domoda, like how we enjoy it in Gambia, just add a little bit of netato, that's the locust beans, and some lime juice. So I like to add veggies in mine, so I peeled and washed some potatoes. So I added some potatoes and some carrot. Then I added some scotch bonnet pepper as well. Now at this point you can taste for salt. You can add a bit more salt to your liking, or you can add some chili pepper. It basically depends on you. Now moving on to the findi. This is what the findi looks like. I've already washed mine in the morning before starting the cooking. So in the pot there, I'm going to be adding some salt. Just 1 tablespoon of salt into warm water. So I am going to dissolve that. Then I'm going to pour it into the findi. Once I pour it in, I'm going to mix all together and cover it and leave it there to soak at least for 10 minutes or so. This is to help soften the findi a bit before I put it in the microwave. So whilst we leave our findi to soak up a bit, we go to check on the domoda. Do not just forget about the domoda there. At this point you can reduce it to medium to low heat, just so that it can cook gently, slowly and steadily until the oil starts to come on top. So you want to be mixing it from time to time, and then you will see it will start thickening up. So you can see here that the oil has started to come on top of the domoda. When this starts to happen, then you know that the domoda is almost done. So at this point you can leave it to thicken up a little bit more, or you can just turn off the stove and let it sit and rest. That way the oil will come a bit more. So after 10 minutes, this is what the findi is looking like. You can see it has started to increase in size. So I added a little bit more of the warm water and then mix it very well. Then I'm going to place it in the microwave, and I'm going to microwave it for 3 minutes at first. This is how I do mine. I have tried the other methods previously by steaming it in a colander, but what does happen is at times I do forget about it, or I add a lot of water and then it ends up being very, very wet. But once I tried the microwave method, it always works perfectly for me, because I am in control of how much water I want to add, and I am in control of the time that I'm going to be leaving it to cook. So try this method, guys, if you haven't tried it. So I'm going to be repeating the process for about 4 to 5 times. Yes, and each time I will remove it from the microwave, add a little bit of warm water, mix it thoroughly, then place it back into the microwave for another 3 minutes. I always do mine 3 minutes at a time maximum, because you don't want to leave it there too long. Then it's gonna steam up until it becomes very, very hard, and you don't want that. So I'm going to be adding some okra to it as well. So I boil some okra on the side. So the okra, I'm going to blend it, then add it to the findi once the findi is done. Now you can see here the okra is done now. So I'm going to be adding it into my mortar and pestle, and I'm gonna blend it until it's very smooth. You can use your blender for this. Just add a little bit of water to help blend it smoothly. So I will blend it until it is very smooth. Then I'm going to be adding it into the findi. It just helps it make it a little bit slimier for easy swallowing. Yes. So you can see here the findi is all done now. It's very soft and it has doubled in size. This is very nice, guys. It is made from millet, and it is made by the Fana tribes, or sometimes by the Wolof tribes. And I love to eat this with my family with Domoda Yappa mostly. So that's our findi ready, guys. So next time you go to Gambia or you find findi wherever you are, this is how to prepare it the easiest way, stress-free. So that's the domoda ready now, guys. Look at how beautiful it looks, and the majority of the oil has come on top. I haven't added any oil to it. So there it is. On the left we have our domoda, and on the right that's our findi. So all you do is place the domoda on top of the findi and enjoy it. Please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoy what you see, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you.